Hey guys, so I just wanted to go live. My hair is a mess, as you can see. I mean, it's not so bad. I got it like bunned up and I didn't comb it today. So technically I'm supposed to be at work, but my manager was kind enough to realize that I was struggling with some things, and she offered to work my shift today and give me the day off. I'm doing this live because, let me just say, my appearance in doing this live is because I want to show the world that every day is not a perfect day. And that's okay. So recently, I wrote a book about my childhood. And in that book, it addresses, mental health. As many people know that I do have mental health issues. I suffer from depression, and with depression comes anxiety attacks, panic attacks, that I have to manage. I do take medication to manage my depression. It is called Celexa. It's not a heavy drug. It's just, for people who don't know, when you suffer from depression, it's like everybody's brain makes two chemicals, serotonin and epinephrine. For some people, the brain doesn't produce enough of one or another of those chemicals. Therefore, you have to take meds, and the meds replace or help your brain to produce enough of one chemical or the other, whichever one is falling behind. So I wanted to do this live, usually I'll do my hair and I'll do my makeup and I'll get dressed and I'll put on my jewelry, to make it look real pretty. But I just want people to see, like, reality, the realness. So some days are good days, some days are not too great. Today's a day that I needed to be home and manage my mental health. So I wanted to do a live because, again, I have a book out that talks about my childhood, which is going to address mental health issues. And I know sometimes, like, a lot of people, they look at the images on Facebook and they see people like dressed up and enjoying life and living life and everything is gravy. You hardly ever see a video of somebody in their true selves, without the makeup, without the hairdo, without the jewelry and the nice clothes. And while all those things are great and I do love looking my best, there are some days that I'm just like, you know what, this is what it is today. So for people who suffer through mental health illnesses, like, this video is to show you that it's okay. Even on those days where life seems to suck, and you have encounters with some people who seem to suck, and you may start having symptoms of, anxiety, like the heaviness in your chest, the shortness of breath, you can't breathe, you want to cry, you don't want to get out the bed, you just don't want to people today. Even in those times, it's okay. In my depression, I go through feelings that, I don't always like having those feelings. But in order for me to be okay with myself, like, I have to acknowledge those feelings. For so many years, I didn't want to acknowledge those bad feelings or those bad thoughts that go on in my head when I'm not having a great day. But by denying them, I prolonged, getting better. I prolonged like getting help. I prolonged like reaching out. A lot of people like myself, speaking for me, we want to hide that part of us. We don't want the world to know that we're not okay today. We don't want the world to see us cry or, releasing, like for me, when I cry, it's just that there's so much going on inside that it overflows, from my eyes. The water starts to fall. I'm the type of person, I don't like people to see me cry. I don't like people to see when I am not my 100% self. Which is why I am doing this live, because again, I want people to know that, like, it's okay to not always look your best. It's okay to not always do your hair or, put the makeup on or put on the jewelry, like it's okay to just sit in your feelings, whether they're good feelings or bad feelings. And I just want to let people know that just because you are having a bad day, like people, I'm going to speak for me specifically. So let me just do some things here, just real quick, guys, just because, I am learning how to do this live stuff because I haven't had a lot of experience with doing lives. I never wanted to do lives. I'm not that type of person that needs to be on the front line, being seen all the time. I'm more of that background person, like sit in the background and just observe and let everybody else take the front seat because, I don't require a lot of attention. I don't really like a lot of attention. But so now that I have a book out, I am going to be trying to work my way from the back seat to the front seat, and try to be open for people to see, not just the good parts of me, but the bad parts of me as well. So I'm learning technology as I go along, like, oh, this is new to me. But anyway, I know I'm bouncing around and that's okay too, because, this is part of my mental health. Sometimes it's hard to focus. You could be like all over the place, like jumping around, like, part of my symptom of depression is some days I'm really up there, I'm really high and I'm like flying around, and there's other days when it's like, I'm in that down moment where, I just want to sit on my couch and not be bothered, So this live is to let people know that it's okay. And let me just get rid of some of the myths about depression and anxiety and panic attacks or mental health issues for that matter. It does not mean we are stupid, that we don't know what's going on. I am a very intelligent person. I like to think that I'm a highly intelligent person. Now, I'm not saying I know everything, but again, that myth, like for myself, sometimes I think because I suffer from depression, it makes me less than, but it doesn't mean that I'm not intelligent. And a lot of people will treat you like you are intelligent just because you have a mental health ailment. But I don't have control of what other people think or say. I can only control what I think or say. Anyway, so, I am highly intelligent. I fall short in a lot of areas. I'm actually like, I don't know why this thing is telling me to tag people or share to groups. I don't really know how to do that, so I am just doing this as I go. Anyway, so like I was saying, mental health issues. So even though I have a mental health issue, you know, I could be like not working, staying home on disability. God, again, I am doing some crap. I don't know what I'm doing. I hear another person in my life. If that person is watching, please, try to um, not speak or anything because it's interviewing with my life. But anyway, like I said, I know I'm all over the place today, and that's okay. It's part of, my symptoms of depression. I'm going to try to focus. I'm going to try to stay on point. I'm going to try to stay on track. But sometimes that doesn't always happen. I don't have control of that. So please bear with me. So, about depression, like, I could be like not working and staying home and collecting a disability check. There was a point in my life that that was recommended to me. And for me, like, I didn't want to be labeled by my depression. I didn't want my life to be um, held, you know, in prison because of my depression. So at the time when they suggested that I stay home and, go out on disability, and when I seen the money they were going to offer me, I was like, I can't live off of that. Like, I have expenses. Like, I don't live in subsidized housing where my rent is like based on whatever money the state gives me. Um, I have a car that I have to pay insurance on. Or if I buy a new car, I may have a car note, and a disability check is just not gonna make that happen for me. So I chose not to go out on disability and to continue working. Um, but however, when you have a mental health and you are trying to not just get a job, but maintain a job, sometimes my symptoms from my mental ailment causes me problems at work when dealing with people, personalities. It's a lot for a person who suffers from depression to not only get a job, but to maintain a job, while trying to manage your symptoms of your mental health at work on a daily basis, dealing with multiple personalities. Like, it is not easy. So kudos to people who are suffering a mental health ailment that continue to work. Like, it is not always easy, but I do know the laws and the fact that people cannot discriminate against you because of a mental health situation. So I continue to work, and, I let people at work know, like, yeah, I suffer from depression. I have panic attacks. I have anxiety attacks. Um, so that they understand when they may see me on a day that I'm like up here, or a day that I'm down here, or a day that I can't stop talking. Um, I do bump heads with people at work, and I don't always feel good about it, but that's the reality of life. Like, when you work in an area where you are dealing with multiple personalities and you're trying to manage your own personality and deal with other people's personalities, like, you're going to bump heads sometimes. And, I'm a loving and caring person. I don't like to hurt people. I don't like to make people feel undervalued. However, I don't like people who make me feel undervalued. So, like I said, when you have a mental health issue and you're working, like I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I get up at 5 a.m. every morning because I have to punch that clock by 7 a.m. I get so much anxiety driving into work because, let me tell you, the traffic, like, I don't feel like I'm the only person out there on the road behind the wheel of a car who is suffering some anxiety issues, because the way these people be driving, like, my anxiety goes way up here whenever I'm on the highway, because I have to be careful of other drivers. And people need to understand that just like you have anxiety and you're in a car going like 80 miles per hour, there are other people behind the wheel of a car, probably with anxiety, that are probably doing more than 80. It's a crazy world we live in. And, you know, it's not always the world that I would have chose to live in, but this is where I am. This is where I'm at. I have no control over that. Of course, I'm going to be bumped into feelings when I'm out in the world and I'm trying to deal with the public and people and personalities and people who may be having some mental health issues as well. And, you know, my anxiety kicks in and I'm like, wait a minute, but like understanding that I'm not the only one out there who is suffering allows me to have mercy on people, and like I pray that people have mercy on me as well. So anyway, like I said, the myth about people with mental health issues are not smart, that's a myth. Like I said, I am a published author, and you have to read my book because it will help you to understand how I came about having depression and anxiety and panic attacks. Um, please read the book. It will be a journey for you, to, maybe help you understand if you are suffering from some mental health ailments. It will help you to be in touch with your story. Um, it will guide you through the process of, you know, realizing that you may have a mental health issue. Um, it will guide you through the journey of being in denial. When I first started realizing that I had mental health issues, I was in denial. I was like, there is no way, and then because of my faith, you know, I was just like, God's going to take care of it. Like, God's going to heal me. Like, I don't need meds. Like, my Lord and Savior is going to heal me. But then I realized, like, God make people and give those people gifts. Like people who created mental health medications. They're not all good. You have to find one that's good for you. But thank God that He created people who were smart enough to make mental health meds. Like some of us need to be taking some mental health meds, like, and it's okay. Um, so I just wanted to like do a live real quick. Like I said, I do have a mental health issue. I do get therapy when I need it. I take my meds every day. I do not play with my meds. Um, and managing mental health issues isn't say that I'm cured at any moment, you know, um, that I no longer suffer from my mental health ailment. Like the medication just helps me manage, my symptoms. It doesn't take the symptoms away 100%, but it will take you from like maybe here to here, and then the rest is God, and this is just for me. Um, so anyway, like again, addressing mental health issues, the journey of being in denial about the mental health issues, getting acceptance that, maybe you do have a mental health issue, seeking help, for your mental health issue. Again, when the doctors wanted to introduce meds, I was in denial about that. I was like, I ain't taking no meds. Like, my Lord and Savior is going to fix me. Like, I would literally hold my head and pray over my head and ask God to heal my brain and protect my brain from the evil forces that were trying to like take over my brain. And, even though I prayed and I believed that God would help me, um, I still had to take meds. Like I had to accept the fact that I could not do this on my own, that I needed to um, research meds, because unfortunately with mental health meds comes side effects, so now you're not only dealing with the symptoms of your mental health, now you have to manage the side effects that comes with taking mental health meds. So, it's a lot. It's a lot on your plate when you have a mental health um, issue. Sometimes I may have a crisis that I have to manage. And let me just say this as well. You know, part of mental health issues, part of depression, like for me, like, yes, sometimes I will hear in my own voice a voice that tells me to harm myself. But thank God for my Lord and Savior, because I can identify when I hear that voice. Like, I remember the first time I heard my own voice in my own head tell me to do something to myself that I knew wasn't good. I was like, what the hell? Like, where did that come from? But because I am aware of my voice, in my own voice, when I'm aware of when it's my Lord and Savior's voice, I'm aware of when it is, the voice of an evil spirit trying to get into my head and make me believe things that I know that are not real. And I know my own voice. And, that is important, because when you get a thought in your head that tells you to harm yourself, you got to question, like, where is that thought coming from? Is it in your voice? Is it in some evil person's voice? Is it in your Lord and Savior's voice? So those are the kind of things that helps me determine, like, what's real and what's not real. So even though I have had thoughts of harming myself, I know that I would never act out on any of those thoughts, because I know where those thoughts come from. And even though I suffer from depression, like, I love myself. I love myself. I love my family. I love my parents. I love my daughter. Like, for me to take my own life, for me, would be selfish. Like, I have to think about the people that will hurt if I do anything to hurt myself. So, it is thoughts like that. Like, you have like healthy thoughts and you have thoughts that are not so healthy. Like, you have to be able to identify, when those thoughts come, like, is this a healthy thought or is this a harmful thought? And thank God that I know the difference. Um, so I don't know where I'm going with this. Like I said, I just wanted to do a live to let people know, like, you'll see posts of me, pictures of me, videos of me living my best life, looking fine as hell, and in the social media world, like, I am also going to do videos of me looking like this. Like, this is normal too. This is a part of me, um, because we all get caught up on what we see on social media, and that can be depressing. Like, I see people like living their best life, going out to concerts, traveling, doing all these different things. And it's not that I get jealous, but it makes me feel like, well, damn, why can't I do those things? While people are out living their best life, I'm struggling just to maintain a job, you know, pay my rent and bills, feed myself. Like, it don't leave me a whole lot of money left to go traveling abroad and spending money on concerts. And, so when I see these things on social media, I start feeling less than, like, something is wrong with my life. Like, what am I doing wrong? But I know that I am doing what is best for me. You know, do I want to pay uh for an expensive ticket to a concert to go have a night of pleasure, or do I want to pay my car insurance this month? I don't have subsidized rent. I pay market price rent. Like, you know just being aware of the choices that you make and knowing that you are making healthy choices for yourself. um like, it's okay that you can't afford to go see that expensive concert. It's okay that you're not walking around with a freaking Marc Jacobs bag, or Michael Kors bag. Like, it's okay. Like, I live, my house is beautiful, my home is beautiful. I rather have a nice house. I like sleeping in a beautiful bedroom. I like sitting in my beautiful living room. Like, these are the choices that I make. And even though I might feel sad because I can't go traveling abroad or going to see some awesome concert with my girlfriends, like, I'm okay with that choice, because when I go to my bed at night and I look at my bedroom and my furnishings, and my linens on my bed, like, these are the gifts. Like, I'm okay with that. Anyway, like I said, I just want to do a live video to let people know and let people see on social media that every day isn't about the hair, the makeup, the jewelry, the clothes. What are we doing today? Like, this is a part of life too. Like, sitting on your couch, you're supposed to be at work, but your boss seen that you were struggling with some things and was kind enough to give you the day off and work your shift for you. I want to thank her for that, because I really needed that today. And, I don't want people to, like, see me and get worried or scared that I'm going to harm myself, because I love myself too much for that. But it's just to let people see the real you and know that, there's another side to you beside that happy, joyful, cheery person that you always are. That sometimes there are sad days, and that's okay. Like, we manage it, we get through it. Tomorrow's another day. I'm not going to stay stuck in this feeling all through my day. Like, I'm still going to do what I need to do. And yeah, this is managing life with a mental health ailment. Again, like, I don't let my mental health stop me. Like, I work full time. My daughter will tell you that even though she has days where she struggles with me because of my mental health, that overall I'm a good mom. She loves me, I love her. She accepts me how I am. Um, yeah, and even with a mental health crisis, like, it can still be a good life. It's a good life. It can still be a good day. I'm grateful to still be here and still be alive. And I'm going to continue to push on my journey. I know that God is going to use me, to be a voice for others like me who may be suffering silence with your mental health. Um, we get upset because sometimes our symptoms of mental health can interfere with us having a quote unquote normal life or quote unquote normal day. But it's possible. You can have a fulfilling life. You can have a full life with mental health issues, as long as you are addressing those mental health issues, that you are seeking help, that you take your meds regularly. um, my what is a normal life for others is not a normal life for me. Like, my life is different from others, and I'm okay with that, because I know that in the end, like, I am going to beat this mental health issue that I have. I'm going to overcome this mental health issue that I have. I'm going to enjoy my life and all that is out there for me, even with my mental health issues. Like, I'm not going to let that mental health issue debilitate my life. And you can too. Like, you can have a normal life, you can have a happy life, you can have a full life with a mental health illness. It is possible. Like I said, I feel like God is going to use me in that area. um advocating for people with mental health issues. Again, I can only recommend that people, look for a copy of my book, God's Gift to You, book one, and read it. It's a lot of information in it. I am going to be popping up and let people see the real me, like the good side and the bad side. Um, and that's part of life. It's a balance. Anyway, like I said, I'm not going to keep you guys much longer. I just want to jump on and do a live on, a day that I am struggling in my mental health area of my life, but I'm okay. I will get through it. Thank you to my manager at work who offered to work my shift and give me this day to just kick back and relax. Like, I really do appreciate that. I love her for that, because like there are some days at work, like I am off the chain and this lady is like, okay, I see where you're at. This is how we're gonna do this. So thanks, Ash. Love you. Bye, guys.